Very good evening to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to be with you today. In fact, I was not expecting that I will attend this program. When Mr. Dr. Palraj asked me to come over here, I just agreed without knowing the day, time and all. But the moment when I was in Salem Namakkal yesterday on camp, he reminded me about my program. That's why I had to cut short and return here. Anyway, it is a good occasion that I could meet many of you. Many presentations which made by my predecessor was so nice, excellent presentation and a good association. Not only the forest officers but also the tourism department, then operators and so many else. In fact, I have very rich experience while working in the forest department since '83. I worked, as he was telling, that almost in all disciplines of forest. And of course, as the Director of Environment. If you want to know about the status of environment, all that, in your YouTube it is there. You just try Director of Environment in YouTube or Google. Better to go YouTube. I think you may try. Anybody has got phone? You don't have phone? Not allowed to have phone or what? Okay. In YouTube, you search Director of Environment. Let me see who is coming. Is an American, or Russian, or an UP wala, or I don't know who. You will see the Director of Environment of the world. Has come? Huh? Is there? I think many of you are not again feeling it. Anyhow, I have given a lot of series of speeches on environment. Very important, friends, that I just want to talk about. I'll also be speaking about it. No one need to teach us. You know, we are in the country, particularly in Tamil Nadu, is known for its heritage. And Mr. Dr. Krishna Kumar, when he was speaking, I remember he was talking about you to be the ambassador of nature, ambassador of heritage, ambassador of forest, wildlife conservation, and so on. And the last speaker, in fact, sensitized me more. I have very rich experience with the tourism also. It is only when I was in Vellore as the conservator of forest, launched the paragliding program. You will be seeing again YASA, Yelagiri Adventure Sports Association. Look at whose face is coming. I took a lot of effort. In fact, we have been promoting a lot of activities. Then that day, Mr. D.P. Yadav, who was the collector there, we were all thinking of bringing a new dimension to the tourism. And we have been working out very long. And the presentation, gentleman made a presentation about Yelagiri. I don't know how many of you have noticed it. It is all 14, 14, 14, 14. It is 14 kilometer up, 14 hairpin bends. There is a ring road of 14 kilometers. There are 14 villages, 1400 meter elevation, and so much that he made a presentation. So we have been working hard, and we thought that area must suit for the paragliding. And we took a gentleman from Pondicherry. His name is Mr. Gopal. But he is not a Tamilian or so, as the name says. He is a French professional. He came with his wife. And we tried being a standalone hill that should shoot for the paragliding. We were opening some of the forest areas, then we were crawling down. Exactly, we were crawling to find the edge of the spaces. And the gentleman came with all his apparatus. Cleared, and of course we had to wait for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. At one point of time that we came to conclusion that he will not take off also, because he was risking his life. So it took a lot of time to study about it. The first time that we have brought it in South India. And of course first year about 35 people took off. The moment one first gentleman took off, really it was such a marvelous act for us. And we didn't know that, we do not have the landing points. Then something suddenly developed down below near Jolarpet, and all have to land there only. Then we have to wind up everything, bring back. It was again Herculean task for us. And the moment when they were all flying above our head, then we requested the pilots to try to land in the Yeligiri itself. Then the first landing also was done there. Spot landing, we call it spot landing. Taking off from one place, landing on the same place is nowhere in Himalayas also it is there situation. It is only here that they were able to do. Then tandem, we asked them to take some of the people. And of course, that also was the next year achieved. The next year, when the cadet came, you will be surprised to know the world record of staying 3 hours, 20 minutes in the air was done here. The world record of paragliding was done from Yeligiri. It's such a nice location, in the sense that if one side of the turbulence air is there, then the other side they can move. It was the advantage for us. Then we started developing so many adventure sports like now you might be seeing what you see in TV serials. A lot of that actresses are doing, all are from Yeligiri. You might be knowing some skywalk, this walk, then tough truck, Sannyasi Malai truck, then rock climbing and so many things. And I am the vice president even today of the Adventure Sports Association. Unfortunately, after our departure, that effort has come to halt, even after proving the worthiness of it, and it was not able to be achieved. Anyhow, now tourism department is there. Mr. Rajaraman was the director of tourism, but for very less input from the tourism department, it is all ultimately by collector and the forest department. Also, I worked as the forest officer of Pudukkottai district when the tsunami took place. I have already raised a lot of plantations all along the coast. I had 5 districts jurisdictions. And shelter belt creation is one, is that wherever we have done shelter belt plantations, the loss of life or loss to the properties were much low during that time. In fact, that day, you will not believe, I was traveling from Pudukkottai to Chennai to take off to Ranchi, where we had our forest sports meet. I am one of the participants for rifle shooting. So I came, I saw the moments, people were running here, there, and some stories were telling. So without knowing, I came to airport, I took the flight and went there. The moment I landed there, this gentleman, Mr. J.C. Kala, so Ghosh was telling, he was the chief conservator of forest. He asked me, where are you and all? Sir, I just landed Ranchi, I got sports meet, I'm attending. No, your name is rocking here. You come back immediately. And you have to go down to CM's office. So then I took immediately next flight from Ranchi back to Chennai. Then here they told me to go to Nagapattinam to meet Madam Shantasheela Nair. And of course, the moment I landed there, commissioners were appointed. I am one among the commissioners. I am the only IFS officer among the relief commissioners. Did a lot of exercise. This mango vegetation also, such a beautiful work which has been done. I got a big presentation, it will take much long time, similar way as Commandant has done, but in a scientific manner. The mangrove vegetations will follow the succession. Succession is one process in the science, the primary succession. The primary colonizer will establish, like Luminifera and all, or small species. We could see the Avicennia, that is one good species coming up, which has got a very wide range of tolerance. Coming up in even non-mangrove belts. And we tried with the mangroves, Avicennia first. Then once the microclimate is built, we started introducing the Rhizophora. Is another one, such as little delicate species. Then we planted out with the Hexachoria agalocha. That is the Thillai by name. Thillai Ambalam Nadarajar is the name is from that tree only, Thillai. And here also in Chennai, when I was director of environment, towards Ennur and all, there were a lot of islands were there with the prosopis. Only prosopis were there everywhere. Then it is my curiosity near the Kamarajar port. I ordered for the removal of all prosopis. That's all I did. And now you can see there a lot of mangrove vegetation coming. The day before yesterday, there was a meeting with the port officials, and they came with the photographs of it. That is all some of the things which is very important. The point which I would like to harp around in the speech I have given, you are from Tamil Nadu. You know your civilization, your culture, your ancestors. The first known Tolkappiyam, the literary document in the world is called Tolkappiyam, you all know, which talks about the environment. I have cited all 5.5 hours speech, continuous speech on one aspect of environment, citing examples from our own literatures, Tolkappiyam, Kurundogai, Agannanuru, and Tirukural. For giving explanation to one Tirukural, it took more than 1.5 hours. That all you will be seeing it. You just listen it. Patina Palai, Viveka Sintamani and all. Every our ancestors. Yesterday, S.P. Balasubramaniam, the last song which he was singing, and he also talked about Corona. I would like to touch upon the Corona too. And he said ultimately that it is the havoc which we have done to the nature. We all have to undergo. That is what he was telling. And he is the first man to succumb to the Corona death. If you look at the entire the solar system, you all know solar system, and there are planets, around 8 planets are there. Earth is in the 3rd position. Earth is the only planet known to have life. This is very important. There is no other planet in the solar system has got life in it. And due to the proximity of the 2 planets just before Earth, they are very hot. Nothing is there. Nothing will live there. The other planets beyond Earth also don't have life because they are either cold or don't have one aspect of the atmosphere. The atmosphere, the air is there only in Earth. That is why Earth is supporting the life. That is most important. And in this Earth also you must be knowing there is equator. Can I have this only one picture which I am going to show to you? I have a lot of material, but I have no time to do that. There is only one picture. Is it ready? If you look at the world, you all know that there is equator. Equator everybody knows. Just imagine the equator. If you go away from equator towards north and also south, it's called the North Pole, South Pole, you might be knowing. If you go away from equator, the temperature will fall down. The sun visits equator, not the sun exactly. It is the earth will get exposed to sun twice in a year. We call it, this is the picture. We call it, the sun visits equator twice. It will come closer to equator, go to South Pole, then come to equator, go to North Pole. Since it is doing like that, the area around equator gets good amount of light and temperature. And this factor alone determines the availability of moisture. These 2 factors, the temperature and the moisture, decides the regions, which are all the regions. So the closer to the equator, you may be seeing, you will be seeing the tropical region. Tropical. The sunlight is more, temperature is more. It's called a tropical regions. Moisture also more there. As you go away from equator towards a pole, there will be drop in temperature. Very important, we should know it. Drop in temperature and also moisture, they determine from tropical regions to subtropical, temperate, boreal, polar. This is what it happens. It's a very important phenomena. Nowhere else you will have this picture. I have brought the entire world into one picture of vegetation and the regions. The similar situation occurs when it goes up also. Another dimension is elevation. Another dimension is the elevation from mean sea level. If you go up also, there will be a drop in temperature. For every 100-meter race, you will come across 1 degree fall in temperature. So if you know Kodaikanal, you know Ooty is about 2000 meters, around 20 degree less compared to what you have here. So this, as you go up also, you will be seeing drop in temperature and also the variance in the availability of the moisture ultimately determines almost the similar regions. What do you call it? Tropical, subtropical, temperate, alpine, and similar polar. In the Himalayas and all, you will see rock and ice. Same way, if you go away from equator also, you will be seeing only ice. And the regions determines the vegetations. That is another important. The vegetation composition, not only vegetation, I am talking about the biodiversity put together. the plants, animals, and other microorganisms, birds, butterflies, whatnot, all that, all being determined. The vegetation compositions are like this: a tropical forest, subtropical forest, temperate, deciduous, tundra and all. That is the thing which you will come across. This is one aspect you please keep in mind. The second aspect is that the diversity. Diversity is more closer to equator. The species availability, the species richness, either it is plants or animals or whatever it is, they are more towards the equator, and as they go down north, south, and also as you go up also, the diversity will come down. Diversity is more important for the stability of the system. You know, diversity leads to stability. There are interactions. And ultimately, the another aspect is that, you know, the organisms arrange themselves in the food chain. Every organism has got a dual function, many functions, but both, either it is biological or ecological. Biological, you know, they produce themselves. The ecological are many. The ecological, if a tree is there, a bird, you know, it provides fruits, the bird picks it up, it gets advantage of food. In the process, it treats the seed and transport it, disperses through the seeds, so somewhere else. This is called ecological role. For everywhere, every organism has to function. You know, all know that organisms are arranged in the food chain as the primary producer. Primary producers are more important. Very important. Even some of the speakers were talking, only elephants are being graded, or tigers are being shown, birds are. The lower organisms are not being considered at all. The lower primary producers are very important in the chain because these are the only organisms which can convert the solar energy into chemical. That's very important. Nobody else can do this. It cannot be done by elephant. It cannot be done by even us. We cannot do. It is only the primary producers. You know, the land, you have got a lot of vegetations. If it is the coastal ecosystems, you will come across a lot of zooplanktons, phytoplanktons, and so many are there. They does the job of photosynthesis or fix the carbon and produce the chemical energy. This is a very important function that we have to appreciate actually. And the consumers, the primary consumers called the herbivores, are also equally important in the sense that they are the organism which convert the chemical energy into protein, which cannot be done by others. We also cannot directly graze the grasses because, you know, the plant cell has got cell wall. Cell wall is made of cellulose, and we do not have such enzymes which can digest the cellulose. And that is why we do cooking, whatever it is. But the carnivores cannot directly eat the grasses. So that is again a very important role being performed by the herbivores or the primary consumers. Then you come across the consumers, or top consumer, or carnivores, whatever it is, they depend on this. So if you want to have a tiger, you want to have elephants, you cannot definitely give out to everything and expect only them to be surviving. That is a system, it's a whole ecosystem. So the point which I want to derive is that the organism complex. It is not only the organism complex, they interact each other, and they depend organism complex and the interrelationship between the organisms and the non-living factor, the air, water, and soil. This is what ultimately is called the environment. Environment, I have asked many of my people, even people working with me, I didn't get a proper answer. The degree offered in very famous universities of India, the environmental engineering, do not have word of environment. So these are with the basic knowledge, you know, it will not survive. It's very difficult. The university degrees are not carrying it. The environment, not only the physical factors, what you normally expect, air, water and all, it includes the organisms. Organisms are many, plants, animals. Among the animals, you know, many, lot of birds, bees, butterflies, microorganisms too. And plants includes innumerable number of plant species. And there exists interaction and interrelations between and among them. That is the most important. That is the most important. Understanding this ecological principle is very, very difficult. And wherever that we have failed to understand the principle, we lost the system. The many of the civilizations, many of the ancient villages have become archaeological relics because of this one poor understanding of ecology and the ecological process.